Tour to raise funds for charities in South Africa will see 18 vehicles undertake a journey of nearly 6,500 kilometres in 18 days. The Nuts and Bolts Rally is celebrating its 10-year anniversary by raising funds for CHOC, which is Children Living with Cancer, UPCA, United Cerebral Palsy Association, the Smile Foundation for Children Affected with Facial Abnormalities, and Goldilocks, and the Bear Foundation for Mental Health. Now, their aim is to raise at least 250,000 Rand for each charity. Pieter Andersen, Tour to raise funds for charities in South Africa organizer, joins us for more. A very good evening to you, Pieter. Thank you so much for your time. It's quite a mission that you're undertaking here. 18 vehicles, a journey of nearly 6,500 kilometers, all in 18 days. How is this going to work?
Yes, good evening. Well, we're going to have to make it work because that's what we set to do, and we are going to do it. So yes, so we started off this morning in George, and we're now in Hanky. So tomorrow we will start day 2.
In terms of the processes, I would imagine that there's a lot of planning and logistics taking place behind the scenes. And I do see that you've done this for a number of years. As you celebrate the 10-year anniversary by raising these funds, how did you come to this? I mean, how did you get together and really make sure that you raise funds for a valuable cause?
Well, we started the rally 10 years ago, and at that time, my daughter, her friend died of cancer 2 weeks before matric farewell, and I just realized what an impact it has on the community. So when we started these trips with these old cars, we said we need to give back. And we then started driving in all these rural areas, and we go 80% on gravel roads. And we found that the need in the rural areas is so big. So we wanted to start supporting. But because we've been doing this for 10 years, we thought we're going to do a very big one, and we're going to drive right around the borders of South Africa. And we chose these 4 charities. If you speak on a radio, you say 10-4, which means you understand, the call sign. And that's exactly what we're doing. We took the 10 years, the 4 charities, because we understand what it is that these charities have to go through to raise funds. So we want to see if we can do that for them. And yes, the quest is to finish the rally within 18 days all around South Africa.
You talk about the needs being so big, and we know they're exacerbated by many different components which speak to those who desperately need these funds. What have you encountered as you've interacted with some of these NGOs in terms of some of the biggest challenges?
Yeah, just looking at challenges in rural areas, once you're in a city or something, it's very easy to go and ask companies. There's a lot of people, but you go out on these rural areas, you realize that there's very little help or no help at all. And those people just rely on the local communities. And we found that also people all of us at the Nuts and Bolts Rally are affected in some way. We have a couple that's riding, that child has abnormal facial problems. We have people in our rally itself that also had cancer and have beaten cancer, and mental health. And there's a girl that's going with us on this trip, and she wants to prove that that people with cerebral palsy can also have an adventure. So she's everywhere with us and driving us, and it's tough. It's hard. It's hard to remember the cars don't have air cons. They don't even have airbags. But they don't go very fast. But still, it's a long journey and a long trip, and it's hot. It's not comfortable, and yes. And that's why we're simulating the journey for charities as well. It can't be easy, because if you do have cancer and you have to go for a treatment and that, you can't go halfway and then say, I'm not going to do this anymore because I don't feel like it. You have to push through, in order to beat cancer. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're battling. This morning on the way, we just left George. about 50 kilometers out of George, one of our cars, the whole wheel came off.
Sure.
And we just had to all stop and help and get together, and we got him on a trailer, and one of the guys turned back and helped him, and he's here tonight. He came back and his car's all sorted out. We fixed it along the way. We leave no one behind, So when he came back, we were also happy that he actually made it, and they're going on tomorrow again, because we just take the next challenge as it comes.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds challenging, but yet fantastic that there's collaboration and the teamwork. Mental health is also something that you're trying to shine a spotlight on. And of course, we know the impact and of course the stigma that comes with it is something that is sometimes overlooked.
Right. That's true. Sometimes people, especially with children, they regard it as naughty, and it's not that. It's a mental health problem. And there's so much. This morning we met even with a foundation, the Sabrina Love Foundation, that has all these challenges in their areas as well. And it's things that I think in today's living, people are not aware of it, and we have to get them aware of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Wishing you all the best, that you and your team as you try and raise at least 250,000 Rand for each charity. Of course, with all those challenges, we're wishing you the best. Pieter Andersen, to raise funds for charities in South Africa, organizer, expanding on their mission to raise this money. 18 vehicles undertaking a journey of nearly 6,500 kilometers, all in 18 days.